Here is a comparison between the Toyota Sienna Platinum versus the Toyota Sienna XSE. Windshield pearl versus silver. Which one's going to be better? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to start in the front. LED headlights and daytime runnings incorporate in all trims that go into the Toyota badging. Now the difference is the Platinum gives you bi-LED projected headlights. Fog lights in the lower, sport mesh grille in the XSE, horizontal bars on the Platinum tier. I kind of like the XSE styling a little bit better. Let me know your thoughts on that. Clearance on all trims is at 6.3 except for the Woodlands at 6.7 inches, which is not going to be a huge difference. But one thing that changes the configuration of Toyota opposed to competition is all of the Siennas, they're hybrids. It's a 2.5 liter dynamic force 4-cylinder with a combined of 245 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque paired to an eCVT transmission. The best part about the Sienna is it is the best for MPGs. So for a family hauler, you're going to be able to get to places just as fast and save on MPGs, because even Kia, for the new Carnival, is not going to get the same MPGs. It's going to be about 2 or 3 less. This is at 36 over 36, and guess what? A combined 36 MPGs. 17-inch wheels will be standard on the LE. The XLE can option 18-inch. The XSE gets 20-inch wheels. Matte black, 5 double spoke, and you get this little pattern design with a sport tune suspension. And the only way you can get that sport tune suspension is this. This is going to be the more sporty style. And if you're looking for all the bells and whistles, you tick the box to the Platinum tier, 20-inch chrome wheels. You get the same design, McPherson strut front suspension, multi-link rear suspension. That's on all trims, as well as 3,500 pounds of towing. So you can get the day done lightly. Honda will be more, as well as Kia. You get the chrome on the door handles on both trims, but going into the Platinum, we're getting this integrated LED turn signal on the side view mirror, a touch of chrome on the door handles and LED tail lights, as well as a difference in the rear. The Platinum will have a standard gloss black rear bumper with the satin aluminum, and this is the only way you can get a 360-degree reverse camera or panoramic view monitoring front and rear parking sensor. And the XSE will have the sport mesh inserted in the lower bumper with reverse sensors and a reverse camera. The Toyota badging will be blacked out instead of getting chrome. The problem that I have, though, is when you're looking at competition. Toyota has not given that extra bump to make it look more like an SUV. It still looks on the exterior like a minivan. Honda, Kia, they're all going to be less than the top tier on Toyota, and it's starting to look a little bit dated, but let me know your thoughts on that. Since both cargo is going to be the same, power liftgate starts on the XLE, going into 33.5 cubic feet of storage. You get a large little storage pocket right in here. And to fold these seats in, pull this lever here, it's gonna drop the seat, and it's gonna fold nice and flush. Only one pull, so it makes it a little bit easier. That's gonna increase cargo to 75.2 cubic feet. But unfortunately, in order to maximize to 101 cubic feet of storage, you have to go into the back and pull the lever. And that will maximize the cargo capacity to the Sienna. The key fob for the Sienna, you can also open the rear doors just by holding them. I think that's a really cool feature, so it makes it a little bit easier to get inside. Softex seats start us off with 12-way power seat adjustment, heated front seats, leather ventilated seats can be an option. Ventilated seats is on the limited trim. Let's fire it up. Leather wrap steering wheel is an option, multi-function. The gauge cluster has a TFT display that can go through an array of information, as well as a heads-up display that will only be found on the Platinum tier. 8 speakers is going to be standard with a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment. It has navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, and we get a reverse camera. The trajectory will not expand out. And I like how you still have physical buttons. Not a huge fan of it standing out of the dashboard. Auto dimming rear view mirror with the home link is standard on all trims. Moonroof. Going into quad climate control settings. 3-zone climate control is standard. Wireless charging pad with a USB port, and they have storage on the passenger side. And because this is the XSE, you get that orange stitchwork that goes into this aluminum look. I like that you still have a phone holder here, as well as more cup holders. You can open this up. It's a deep storage pocket with USB ports. You got a total of 6 USB ports, 12 volt. You can option hole and plug, and 18 cup and bottle holders going to be found throughout the interior of the cabin. Headroom and legroom. You're going to be sufficient if you are over 6 foot tall, whether you're sitting in the passenger or driver's seat. It's somewhat of a driver focused setup because the way it's tilted, but the way they have incorporated the storage throughout the interior, it does make it family friendly. Door panel dashboard configuring together, and it's going to be a little bit more firm, one touch up and down for all the windows, with a top storage and a lower storage pocket. The key fob for the Sienna Platinum. 12-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, leather wrapped seats, heated, ventilated, memory for the driver. Heads-up display is only going to be on the Platinum tier. Put it into reverse, and we have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. You can also click onto this sub-menu here, and it will change the layout for the reversing. And because we have the 360-degree reverse camera, on this side where all the buttons are, click onto the view. Now you have bird's eye view. You can also click here. You can pause it. I can click onto it and just see all around the vehicle. Quad climate control settings, that starts on the XLE. Tri-climate control is standard. Wireless charging pad with a storage pocket for the passenger, as well as another USB port. Leather wrap steering wheel, it's multi-function, heated. Gauge cluster is a 7-inch TFT display that can go through an array of different content for the driver. Door panel and dash configured together, and it's going to be a little bit more sporty, one touch up and down for the windows, as well as 2 tiers of storage. The nice thing about the XSE and the XLE, you could do a kick and it'll open the sliding door for the second row. We have the captain seat configuration, which means you're going to have 2 armrests. You can also adjust these back, as you already saw, and I'm going to just adjust it a little bit so I can get inside, and simply just close here or push the button here. USB ports, cup holders, dual climate control settings with storage beyond both of the front seats, headroom, as well as leg space. Now you can also adjust these forward, so you can make it where I can't fit, or you can make it where I can recline. As for the Platinum, we have the lounge chairs, so I'm just going to relax and not worry about anybody in the back. Heated second row seats. And the XSE gets the manual sunshades, air vents here, and you have kind of a little armrest, a little pocket, and a cup or beverage holder. And going to the back, you do have a full pass-through with another area for a beverage holder where you can just simply slide it forward like this, or pull the lever like this and it'll slide. And you have room for 3 more in the back. Cup holders, USB ports, air vents, and more cup holders. But a con, you don't receive the sunshade, nor do you get the USB ports. Headroom, it's good. Got the seat reclined, and we can adjust that forward. So that way you can really see how it is on a longer journey. And we're going to slide these back, in which that would be my leg space. And you can see the space that they would have in the front, sliding into the center. The nice thing about these 7 seats is you can stretch out your legs. But leg and shoulder space is not really compromised because of the way this kind of goes inwards. As for headroom, it's still workable, and I'm at 6'3". XSE Sport Tune suspension, 20-inch wheels is standard on both trims. Maneuverability, you can do so. Performance, you have a little bit. 245 horsepower is what it pumps out. And it's a hybrid, which everyone loves because you're getting 36 mpgs across everywhere. And when you're mashing on the gas or you're just coasting, you're still getting over 30 mpgs for a vehicle that can fit 7 or 8 passengers. That's awesome. Towing capacity at 3,500 pounds, I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish it was at least 4,500 pounds to be more comparable to Honda, even Kia. And the interior is starting to look a little bit dated, as well as the sound deadening is not as good in the XSE, but we'll see how it is in the Platinum tier. I do like how light the pedal feels, because whether you're just driving normal or mashing, I mean, it's just ready to go. Very responsive. The steering is pretty light for the most part, so that also helps for that daily commute. It does feel wide and it does feel long. That is something that almost every minivan is going to have. Turn radius at more or less a stop point is going to be about 3 lanes. Let's rock and roll. It's a quick vehicle. So if you're concerned about getting to places quicker because it's a hybrid, you don't have to have that concern. Standard amenities in the XSE and up is really what unlocks most of the quality and luxury in the interior, because you're going to have the captain seat configuration as well as going into those lounge seats, which is awesome. But on a con, it's not long enough for somebody like me. I'm at 6'3". And now the Platinum trim, it doesn't matter. It's going to have the same engine. 2.5 liter dynamic force 4-cylinder. The suspension, that is the key to this review though. Is it a huge difference? If you're driving them side by side, you can tell a difference. This is going to be a little bit more limousine-like. Even though they're both set with 20-inch wheels, that tuning to it, you'll feel a little bit more of the bumps coming in. There's no way around it. But either way, with all of these cup holders and all this storage, it's not like something's gonna spill, whether you go sport tune suspension or not, and you have plenty of areas to put things. So for a family hauler, it is one of the best in class for that. But on the con, it's lacking in charging ports, it's lacking in the soft materials, and it's lacking in the technology compared to a lot of the competition. And to give her a go, and that's full power, still achieving right near 36 mpgs, which is the best in class amongst every single minivan. The biggest problem that I have, not only is that it's starting to get a little bit dated, this screen configuration, it's driver focus, it's just a lot of plastic amenities in the interior. The pro to it though is you're getting quad climate control, ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, but when you go into Kia now you can get third row seats heated. When you go into Honda, they don't offer a hybrid. So each vehicle is going to have something that is going to definitely have a con or a pro. But in the same aspect, because Toyota and Honda are known for their minivans, I would want them to be more superior. And I feel like the Sienna hasn't changed much since they did their refresh, giving us a standard hybrid variant, which was definitely a pro, because when you get a minivan, what are you looking for? Great MPGs, a butter smooth drive, a lot of interior and soft interior components with technology. 2 of those 5 things, they're starting to lack in. And it shouldn't be the case, because it needs to be a little bit more innovative, especially for the second row. To only be able to move it back and forward, that's all good. But when you go into Kia, you could do that and side to side. When you go to Chrysler, you can remove them completely out and stow them in. Now that's not saying this is not a great family hauler, because it has the best in class 4 storage nooks, so they do a great job there, because everybody else is just trying to make it look a little bit more too luxurious and then giving it more of an SUV vibe. And when you go minivan, you still want to have all of those things that we've already entertained. But for me, I would go Platinum, because you just get more in this vehicle opposed to all of the other trims, and you still have features in which you can't even get in the other trims. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Gettle Stadium Toyota for giving us the 2 Toyota Siennas, the XSE versus the Platinum, for our car review.